Welcome everybody to Jukebox Jax, episode 11. My God, these episodes are flying past right now.
Yeah.
So those people that may have already caught episode 10 know that we did a preview of SlamDunk North. And this one's going to be a follow-up as much as we can try and piece our entire day together. As we get further through the day.
Spoiler alert, I left Pumpkin Drublick stage.
Yes, that was shocking itself. So yeah, we'll just jump into to the morning how it started. Obviously, Gian came and met me at mine. We had a little bit of a technical issue with his shuttle bus ticket.
I didn't print them. I know I did. I forgot.
Yeah. So luckily we printed them, so we didn't have to go back home. We're being inundated with messages from Bean and Smeg, like, "Where are you? You're lying. You're not here." Talking about the pub. They were so eager for breakfast, bless them.
We're outside. I'm like, you know, I've just seen you walking. You're like,
Getting a clue out.
We were halfway through his breakfast when you got there.
So yeah, we as we'd planned, we met up at Glassblower. We had a nice breakfast.
Is that when I finally realised where we were?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Not the other pub.
yeah. Not with,
Yeah,
not.
Yeah, yes, Meg. Not the other pub on a different day.
oh dear.
I had a long week. Let me off.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That is true. Yeah, you'd had a long week. Yeah, of course. Once we had breakfast, obviously we finished up. We jumped on train, and then we got into.
That train were late though, wasn't it?
No.
They were the previous one, wasn't it? They were late, and ours were late. Then we got the late one from the.
We got the delay before. Can we just appreciate before we got to the train when Turpin turned up?
Oh my God, that. So Turpin, as obviously Gian's going to explain, he were out the night before. Don't know why.
Nice by the looks of his face.
So yeah, night before, Turpin messaged me saying, "Do you fancy coming for a few after I've been for a meal with Caitlin?" And we were like, yeah. I was like, no, I'm already out. You know, not drinking tonight. And they're like, "Oh, come wakey. I was like, no, because I know what's going to happen. And lo and behold, the next morning we got there. He turned up. He'd already been sick before we got there. Saw the breakfast and refused food. Had drinks because Callum was sat with me and he were fresh. Yeah, so they just turned up, absolute mess. Didn't have nothing to eat. Started drinking straight away.
So
It looked like death when he showed up.
I know.
I just said straight away, I went, you don't look alive. I said, you look terrible.
I went out for a second and we were out there, and I swear he looked as if we were going to chunder again.
Yeah.
well,
Didn't look good.
it was funny because I were deep in conversation with Smeg, Jeannie, and Bean because I was sat on the same table as them, and then I didn't even realise Turpin came and sat outside of me until he slung his arm around me, and then I looked at him, and then instantly the conversations that Gian had already told me on way about, "Oh, just FYI, Turpin's been out, so he might be a bit rough," and it was just the look on his face, and he, like you say, did not look well at all.
As soon as he started breakfast, they were like, "Let's say show, Bob."
That was the funniest thing about it because he announced like to the table, like as soon as his food came, and he just kind of looked at it. He tried saying it while skipping at the same time, and he was like, "I'm gonna have to move. I can't sit here." But it were the facts that he was so repulsed over the fry up and that he were going to be sick that he slid his sunglasses back down over his eyes. So not only did he feel sick, it was the fact that he wanted it, the vision blocking of it.
And then I bought my pint at the wrong time, didn't I? Because I had to try and finish it as quick as I could.
Yeah. Because that's the one thing, isn't it? When we always meet up and have breakfast and stuff, like you get in conversations and stuff like that, and you just kind of forget about looking at time. So obviously at first it was like Smeg, like, "Oh, have I got time to get another?" And we all just kind of looked around and we were like, yeah, you've got time.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, and then before we know it, it was like, "You need to down it, Smeg."
It wouldn't have meant.
I couldn't even bloody down it. I was disappointed in myself.
Too early.
We got there, Leeds train station, and then we started the bit of a trek that we ended up going on to Pine Street. We got there in ends, and I appreciate Smeg's efforts. He was leading charge all the way. I don't know. It was just kind of
Google.
It's for me.
We got there. We were on a different bus, weren't we? And Jim like, oh, buzzing, bus is here, no queue. Yeah, actually, just over there.
It's just Tora, Leeds and Armley, mate. Then you get on bus.
Right, trek on it. There.
We still managed to get there before you.
Well, see, this is where I was going to lead on to with it. It was kind of like, it was my first experience of having the shuttle bus there, so I didn't really know what to expect anyway. But when we got down that street, obviously, we quickly realised why there was a differential between our tickets and Bean and Gian, sorry. Because you guys have got the big green coach. And up until that point, we just thought they're all shuttle buses. It's just they're selling them separate kind of thing. But it turned out everything would just run differently. Like me and Smeg and Jeannie went down to bottom of the street, and it was within minutes we were on board bus, and we just assumed that it must have been as quick for you guys, but it wasn't until we were pretty much pulling up into the grounds of Temple Newsome that obviously I sent the message saying we're here, and you guys were kind of like, oh, we've only just set off. And it's like, wait, what?
God.
We basically
the parking attendant when we were coming up.
Yes, so I took videos of it, but it didn't capture because he weren't dancing. So it was one of them, you know, when you see them memes going around where it's got like the Japanese traffic coordinator who's doing dancing with whistle and hat and stuff. This guy, he were inside the car park field, and every car that came past, he were waving him in, but then he'd just break into some form of break dancing or body popping as they were coming in.
It was fantastic. Everybody on the bus just watched him, didn't they?
Yeah, everybody had the face plastered against window with a camera up to window trying to catch him doing it. It did cause a bit of a reaction, and I was gutted I never saw him after that, but I was more gutted that the foot, every time I pulled it out and started recording, he stopped bloody doing it.
Well, when we got on our coach, which is basically a double-decker bus, that's it, like an Arriva.
Yeah.
But we sat there, and both at the same time, we just pulled his drink out, and we just both cracked it, and we looked round, and Bean says to me, "Why aren't it people on this bus drinking?" and I was like, yeah, you could tell from Cass. But we just started to get a bit rowdy for a laugh, but like no one liked us.
What?
We were like, just taking it like, oh yeah, we'll sing this, we'll down it. Oh. And then we've got another each, and people were just like looking at like in disgust.
Oh no!
Like past it, and they were all just tutting at us.
Even Turpin didn't have a beer.
That sounds like the most unfriendly bus journey ever.
Yeah,
Friendly though, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were like, you could tell they were just random people that never really met each other, were just kind of getting in conversation, and we were sat down on some seats, and there were some people stood right next to us, kind of thing. And as like we were having our conversation, you could see they were kind of like listening in and nodding along at what we were saying about different people planning on seeing. No one really kind of spoke to each other, but yeah, it sounds like ours were a lot more friendlier. Although we waited. As viewer, we're going to wait. Obviously,
watch it out.
He's here.
He's out the bath.
Nice cameo by Dex.
Yeah.
First of many, no doubt.
Probably.
So yeah, we were waiting for you guys, and then it became abundantly apparent that at that point we'd already drank far too much than as bladders could hold. So then we started busting for the toilets.
See, that toilet would have blessing on it just before we went in.
Yeah.
Although
you guys arrived slightly after, as I said, because of delaying, obviously, you obviously bus setting off, but you missed the point where everybody were getting shouted at for walking on grass. You couldn't not walk on the grass to go to like the Portaloos, like they were on the grass. It was just crazy. And I mean, like, and I get it from working in security industry myself. Like, they've got obviously the owners of Temple Newsome had set these strict instructions, and it needed to be sort of like passed through to people. But some of the security marshals were getting really animated. Like they would try to climb the security barriers themselves to like run up and challenge the individual who were kind of like it would just getting silly towards that point, because it was creating so much of a reaction. People watching thinking, "Oh my, we get your point, but come on!" Like he stood on a blade of grass to the point where there were people who were quite clearly intoxicated at that point, who then thought it was just highly more comical to wind the security staff up to literally stand there, putting the toe on it, then taking it off, then putting the toe on it, then taking it off. And it was like,
we were talking to a woman security guard, weren't we? She said, "Yeah, I know it's my job, but I can't be asked running."
Yeah, she was like, it's because the owners at place, they're sort of like, they don't want all, you know, this route going in when there's a clear concrete footpath. They don't want obviously the grass being damaged and stuff like that. And we're like, no, we get it. But it's just kind of like, it's the last thing anybody wants to see as soon as they arrive.
Oh yeah. And then I apologised to the grass when we walked to the toilets, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I remember that.
And I got down, whispered to the grass, like, "Sorry, dude."
So
I just forgot to lock cubicle and Bean just opened it. Like, all right, pal, all right.
I didn't know that happened.
I left my bag with my empty bottles in there because there were no bins. I just
put all my empty cans in a carrier bag.
Yeah.
I started our diabolical plan, didn't we?
And then started gipping.
I just loved it after everybody had like come out of the urinals in our group at that point, and they were all having the same reaction, like as if you've put like business cards in toilet. it's like why not?
That's when I brought my jacket out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't have it on until then.
And obviously, FYI, at that point, those people that's going to be watching this episode on YouTube, there will be a clip from this point, and it's obviously Gian in his kimonos you've just seen in the clip. Absolutely amazing. It's become somewhat of a tradition. Sorry, Bean, I can see it through the glare on your glasses. It's like, oh my God.
I've grown to love it. But like
next year.
Do you know what? We love him, even though we know him well enough to know that that's not even true remotely. But we love him for saying it.
I like it. I love it, but I like it. It's nice.
I love it. It was nice to meet you for the first time, to be fair, Bean.
I think we've sort of met in briefly, haven't we, and said hello and what have you, but no, good. I just love it. Start to finish, people hadn't seen for so long and stuff. It was.
Yeah, talking about people who we didn't see for that long, who we saw on train.
I know. Yeah. I know. Obviously, we saw one of the guys who we worked with at Cineworld back in the day, and obviously Bean knows him as well.
Yeah.
Eden, yeah.
That's my mate Emma.
Yeah, it were crazy but it's just how them things work, isn't it? At a time like he was on his way, I'm assuming to. Well, it was Saturday. It was weird to think now, looking back, that he must have been on his way to work because he'd got a suit on and stuff.
Oh, he said he was off to a wedding.
I went to a wedding, yeah.
There we go. That explains it then. I think we on train. I think we talked what bands we were going to be seeing that day and stuff, and then obviously just other conversations took place. So I didn't actually catch where we were going, but I felt like all day it were a Friday anyway. If I'm being honest, it didn't feel like a Saturday. So it just I put two and two together and just obviously assumed that it must have been Friday, even though it was clearly a Saturday for SlamDunk.
It's funny that, you know, if you've been out drinking or you go in somewhere or whatever, and it's a bit of a strange time or whatever, and then you see some random person at the scene and you're like, something's not right about this conversation. why can't I see straight? And then there's someone there with a suit and tie and ready for work or something, and you're like, you have a minute where you say, I don't know what's going on. What time is it? It's like if you've gone out for an all-day session and then you go in a pub and you come out and it's still light and you're like,
yes. Oh,
looking at each other like, what's going on?
We have been there so many times.
About 4 o'clock.
So obviously from that point, we then made his way down to the ticket section where obviously you've got to have your ticket obviously scanned. They were doing obviously the COVID measures as well, where they were obviously asking for the pass and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
have you got a QR code, mate? Yeah, see you later. Oh, all right, bye.
Last I had, I showed it to her and I said, "Do you need to see this?" She went, "Oh no, just ticket." And I'm like, "Can you just look at it, please?"
A lot of time and effort to download and scan all this. Can you please look at it for me?
At least like everyone should have had it, because obviously no one would. If we were first one, everyone would have known. Like if that would come out of Hatfield, people probably would have just sacked it off and just not bothered.
It's like with bag checks. That one, that photo of mine, they just.
I honestly think I could have took a crate of beer in than what I took to notice.
I've read stories since then. There are people saying they took their own beer in, and
It's just like
and they were like, "Oh, have a good day."
Yeah, because I'd obviously had borrowed one of Gian's drawstring bags, and at that point, I think I had your waterproof in there, G, and I had my hoodie.
Everything around.
So when obviously they were doing bag search, the guy there were kind of like, "Oh, have you got a bag?" So I took it off, and they were like, "Oh, you know, it's looking in it, but it kind of what's in it." I was like, "Oh, there's a hoodie, and there's like a waterproof thing, but you could only see the hoodie." So he just kind of like grinned and went, "No, you're fine, mate." And it wasn't until I got in afterwards, I was kind of like, oh, "Why were that so funny?" And then I was like, he was probably assuming I had like actual cans in there, which I genuinely didn't at that point.
You were rushing those ciders on bus, weren't you?
Yeah, thinking that obviously there'd become, because you were hearing all sorts of stories from last time round of people having like.
That's the thing, when they were on COVID, they didn't. The bothered, didn't they? Checked everything. Now there's COVID, they're like, "Oh, whatever." And it's like, I don't know.
Well, I looked on confiscated table when I went past, and it was literally just sweets.
Yeah,
A bit of food.
Should have took one.
I think just shedding some light on the security industry side of things, like from obviously working in it myself, managing the COVID scans and everything else that you've got to check, because obviously terrorist threats and things like that, they never go away. So there's certain things that still need to be checked anyway. I think logistically, it was always going to be too difficult to do everything.
Yeah.
So, but like you say, I have to agree. It was quite surprising to see the COVID scanning situation wasn't the thing that never got dropped for start with. It kind of that got dropped by wayside, which we weren't the first ones there. I can only imagine what it was like for the first 100 people. They probably all had the QR code scanned and stuff, and then after that, security were kind of like, you know what, this is creating too much of a build-up. They've clearly done what they need to do.
There was a big queue afterwards when I was talking to Rob, and they said they were queuing for ages to get in, whereas we did we? So, I don't know. And
then everything kind of like split up at that point. Like probably we didn't imagine, like we got a chance to take a quick video, take some snapshots and stuff before the signal kind of went, or we were assuming a signal were going to go at that point. We'd got us first drink. Some of us, I think Turpin had got like 2 or 3 in his hand.
There were a last sat on floor who had too many already.
Oh, yes.
She was shattered, bless her.
She was bad.
Oh, it's like 12.
I missed Buster Shuffle. I went to merch stand first.
Yes, you did. I remember you saying, yeah, you were going to catch merch stand, and then you were going to try and catch someone, but you wanted to make sure you got merch stand while there was still kind of merch there, which made sense.
One at Top Tier last one, it had sold out before noon.
Shit.
Mine, luckily, they did a second run, so she's ordered top. But it sold out. We ended up spending fucking 85 quid on merch.
Nice.
But when to be fair,
I got 4 things.
When people say it like that, and obviously those people listening sort of like they're looking at it as though, oh, that's an extra amount of money that you weren't kind of expecting. But Smeg's one of them sensible people in that sense, where each month, as well as paying for, like, if he's doing his ticket plan on SlamDunk, he'll put money aside specifically for merchandise. So he already had a set amount of money he'd put aside for merchandise that were nothing to do with his food and drink during festival. So if people do have that opportunity, that's definitely the best way to go, even if it's like a tenner a month you put aside.
For me and our lass, I put 300 quid aside.
So there you go. That's what I mean. The scenario that you only spent £80 for merchandise when you still had all that money available just shows that just setting yourself little bits of money aside each month leading up to festival, it definitely helps come day, especially on that, either the one payday, or if you don't have a payday until after the next SlamDunk, like, then that kind of screws you over. So yeah, you don't want to be living on breadline and things like that.
It's like, because I got a t-shirt, the one I'm wearing, got that one. I don't know if that one.
Ah, yeah, that's nice.
The wombat.
Pardon?
Got the wombats.
No, it's just a slam dunk one.
Oh, is it? All right, sound. I didn't see it. It looks good though.
I got Dexter a hat.
It's very hatty.
You hear that? And I got my friend in America the lineup T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's now over in America, so it's arrived and she loves it. And Alice bought, you bought the Alkaline Trio T-shirt.
Sound.
I'll be honest, I wish I would have looked, but I just didn't even have a look. Because I probably would have got something, but
Queues were massive. We were queuing for a good 40 minutes.
oh, I couldn't have dealt with that. It'll have just done me head in.
Thankfully, we had a gap.
They don't like queuing.
Merch, 10 minutes, I don't know.
There were two. There was like the Slam Dunk merch, and then the like band merch one. The band merch queue literally went all the way the width of the field when I looked at it. And ours were like a group, that congregation in front of those barriers where that merch were.
Yeah,
But,
I know what you mean.
It were a bit hectic because unfortunately with I think there were 4 people selling, but they only had 2 card machines. And one of the card machines went down, and they were really frustrated. You could tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the last thing they want, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I'm calling for you.
You want to say hello?
Hi.
Hi, Dex. But that's always the thing, isn't it? When it comes to obviously merchandise, people are going to have different ways of approaching it. They're either going to go straight away thinking the same thing, or they're going to be like, like Bean says, I don't like queues, same as me. I'm saying in that sense, I'll leave it a bit. But then you're always facing risk that there's not going to be enough merch. But worst case scenario, you can always buy the stuff later on, and it's not the same. You haven't bought it there, but it's still an avenue you can go down. You don't necessarily have to worry so much.
Yeah. I mean, I always go down the route of getting the merch at the beginning, no matter what gig I go to, be it a festival or a normal gig. And then it's just done for the night.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll touch on it come like the part 2 that we'll be doing, where we're talking.
So we've got about 6 minutes left.
Yeah, as time is running down already. But yeah, we'll touch on things like that about thinking about obviously next year as well, June's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Text.
He's hungry. He wants some toast, even though we've already eaten.
Children free, man. That's children. Never stop eating.
Aye.
But yeah, I will kind of give a teaser for obviously the next part of it when we are talking about bands and stuff like that. But we will ultimately lead on to the announcement that was actually made while we were there, but none of us realised of when the 2022 SlamDunk. Yeah, none of us believed it when we first got told.
On Friday.
It makes no sense. But yeah, VIP is an avenue that I'm looking at just solely because of the things that come with it. You get obviously the free locker and stuff like that. And
I'm a weirdo.
As it works out, it only works out as like, I think it's 20 quid extra. And if you are going down the payment plan, it is really not much. I think it works out about 90 quid in total. So again, it's only an extra 20 quid, but then you get the luxury of, again, we'll touch on it in second part, but you get the luxury of so many other things, but you can still have free roam of the normal things as well. It's just if you are like, I don't know if you remember seeing where it was, like the first stage, what we got to on your left.
Yeah.
Straight after that, yeah, there were the white porta cabins in a separate bit where you couldn't go into.
Oh,
that's right. So my friend had the VIP.
What's his face?
Jake, and he would just go in and getting drinks, coming back, better toilets. He said, even for 20 quid, you got that.
And beauty as well, what a lot of people giving feedback on. There were some people that saying that they've religiously done the VIP every year. Other people were saying that this year were the first one. They were all saying that the thing that doesn't get emphasized on enough is the fact that that VIP area that you go into, there's a closed off press section. And when it says closed off, all it means is crowd control barriers, then metal ones, and then you've got a bit of a gazebo that's up. So you've got the bands, different band members and such that are talking to local press, media outlets. but they'll stand and talk to the fans as well, take selfies with fans, ask them how days going and stuff like that. Like you are literally right in there with the bands. So, which makes sense as me and Bean saw at one point. We were either queuing for the toilet or queuing for a drink, and Sydney from Dollskin just walked straight in front of us. She cut in between us in queue to walk through and stuff. And I sort of said to him, I was like, that's Sydney from Dollskin. And it'd gone by that point. It took me a few times to say it, like, but yeah, it were kind of like, that's pretty cool, that. And that made sense that she would have been.
I couldn't say it to anyone, to be fair. Like,
yeah. It made sense that she was probably on her way to that VIP section to do some sort of media arrangement that they'd already got prior, because they'd already played by this point. Yeah.
oh god.
Welcome everybody back to part 2. Gian's just disappeared. I don't quite know what's happened there.
Oh well.
But he'll jump back in and we'll just keep recording it live. These things happen, as we know, and it wouldn't be a Jukebox Jax episode if there wasn't some sort of weirdness going on.
It's to give the whole SlamDunk vibe when we all veered off.
This is very true. This is very true. Just while we're waiting for Gian coming back online, I'll give a shout out to everybody's socials for those people that didn't catch the first episode. So you've got in top, as you're looking at the top right hand corner, you've got malboroknightart. Check him out on Instagram. He's the co-founder of Jukebox Jax. He's also doing open for business for commissions work on any design needs that people have. He's super friendly, super talented. So check him out. Hit him up on.
Very exciting at the moment, aren't I?
Yes, very. Oh man, yeah. See if we've got time towards end to. We might give a bit of a leak information, give people a little bit of some feeder seeds on what we've got coming up. We never stop. We say that all the time. It's not a cliche. We literally never stop. We are always doing something to bring new content, to bring more people together. Yeah, we're really excited about what's coming up literally next week or so.
I know full well we're busy. Look at my bloody messages.
Yes, unreal, absolutely unreal. Finally, we have him back.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Cyndi
Lauper. It came on and it said, "Recording in progress. Do you want to leave meeting?" And I accidentally clicked yes instead of no.
So
it's like that Simpsons episode where it's playing golf. It's like, you a game over. Would you like to continue? You have selected no.
Those people that have through lockdowns and things like that have used Zoom for meetings and stuff know that if you do record it, unfortunately the names that people have in the bottom left hand corner of the screen don't display. But we've got this ongoing thing going now where the bottom two especially, they're so comical with it. They'll change it to whatever the like ludicrous idea they've got a time. Beans on it now. I can see him. He's working on something. So yeah, Gian's currently is displayed as Cyndi Lauper.
Girls just want to have fun, obviously.
Exactly. But yeah, Gian's socials, Gian Spins specifically on Instagram. He obviously displays lots and lots of vinyls that he collects, as well as many other artistic things that kind of pop up from time to time, whether it's new tank cards for his drinks and things like that.
What a Turbo Man doll of the day.
Yes, that Turbo Man doll. I loved the picture that I sent. I think I sent it to Smeg as well, but I know I sent it to you too, about the Halloween costume of Power Rangers with Zordon. that was comical. That it was my sister's fella that sent it, and it was quite good for him as well. I gave him props on it. I was like, that's pretty good actually, mate. That's pretty good. But yeah, check out Gian Spins too. I believe he's still got his personal one linked to it as well, which is Gian Floats too.
That's right.
He'll literally chat about anything and everything we especially more so gigs related stuff as well. If you've got questions about different bands that we might recommend, feel free to hit him up. Super friendly guy, and you'll probably see him at the same gigs as well if it's local. Me and funnily enough, that we were talking about an announcement earlier about that we're going to be making and stuff. We're actually going to speak to. Say that again.
We're just doing the announcement now. I know you want to.
We'll tie up this part and then we'll announce it then and stuff. So I've just looked at Bean's new name. Bean, do you want to say what your name says?
Nicodemus.
And pliers.
Don't forget pliers.
Oh man,
that's not bad actually.
So quite fitting. Bean's just opened one of his drinks that he's brought along to episode.
Plum porter. I don't like porters, but this seems all right to be fair.
That's what he said. That's what he says now. Let it settle in first and see how.
Very dark. It's like black as the night.
It's like Guinness.
It's quite nice actually to be fair.
So yeah, Bean is known as the Crafty Lad on Instagram. He reviews beers, IPAs, and such. He said last time he didn't give himself enough props. He don't really know what he's doing. Is his words and stuff, but he does have a lot of interaction through his posts that he makes and stuff. So it's just being modest, but also it reminded me because you actually updated something else the other day and I totally forgot, and we can mention that as well. You've actually got a blog as well that every now and again that you'll...
Yeah, I don't post on it enough, but yeah, I do have a WordPress blog that I occasionally write on. It's normally when I'm like mad or annoyed about something. I find a way of...
Every other day then?
Yeah, I was having a bit of a bad time before I wrote that last one, so I just thought, I wrote that and then it sort of sorted me out a bit, so it was good.
That's one of the things that I can sort of tell with you doing, obviously, that blog, that it's more there as a coping mechanism for you. You need an outlet at times, and you've got people around you like us, your missus, your family and stuff, but sometimes you're still kind of holding stuff back, and that's your outlet. And
oh gosh, it's very badly written. I read it back every time and I think that. But I'm not. It's not for that really. It's not really a popular thing anyway. No one really gets like thousands and thousands of followers on it. So it's just, to me, it's just somewhere to rant and have a bit of a whinge and a moan.
Which is quite funny because obviously the name of it as well. What's the name of it?
Roden's Ramblings.
There you go. So you can see why he's saying that.
I just ramble on. It's not well written or I don't like that, but I quite enjoy it. I just don't do it enough really, but I do quite like it.
Life takes over though, doesn't it? And like you say, obviously you've got this social media content that you're doing and stuff. You're just as much as GN. You're quite heavily involved with Jukebox Jax behind the scenes and stuff like that as well. So you work full time.
I'll say like, oh, give me some subjects to talk about, and people will go blah 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 and this, and I'll just be like, I can't be asked. I'm not. Something's got to come to me for me to be able to write about it, and I just think, oh, right.
I like how you ask them for it. No. And they're like, oh, yeah, do this. I like how you ask them for stuff, and they're like, talk about this. You're like, no.
I do it, and I just feel like, I can't be asked, because it'll just be something I just think, well, I don't care about it, or I'm not passionate about it. So I just think, oh, I can't be asked. And even if I were, I'd have to be in that right frame of mind. And it probably in 6 months' time, I'll go, oh, I
know. So yeah, let's give the announcement then, Smeg, if you're happy for us to give it like you said.
Yeah, go for it.
Is somebody getting engaged?
Yeah, us too.
Oh my god!
Yeah, might as well be now.
Best man.
So we have been dropping it in like different posts and different conversations all the way through since start up of the podcast. To be fair, we have mentioned it in the signatures on different sort of like outlets of the show and stuff, that we're moving into doing our next project, which is all again under the umbrella of Jukebox Jax, and it's actually our very own music vlog where we will be reviewing gigs, concerts, where we're good to see bands, artists, more for, again, bridged on what we've talked about before, where it's giving people more fuel and more ammunition. If you've never been to a live gig, you've never been, to a festival, things like that, it gives you a breakdown of what to expect, how good, obviously, people have performed and stuff like that. It's just trying to... Yeah, but it's just trying to encourage people to sort of like get out there in an environment where people are super friendly. You make new friends. Some people would even go as far as describing going to gigs and such like that as an actual hobby, as opposed to just an interest.
Yeah.
I
remember one year I did 69 gigs in a year.
Jesus.
That does not surprise me for you, man. It does not surprise me.
And the last gig was a bag of chips. VIP meet and greet with Brian.
But yeah, in the next couple of weeks, it'll become live, and we've already captured some kind of like B-roll footage. I'm talking editing software terminology when I say things like that, but yeah, we've captured a fair amount of footage of things that we've been able to go and see recently, where we'll be putting them into our episodes. There will, as a disclaimer though, there will be YouTube exclusive, so you will see a teaser, kind of like a quick trailer of it on all our social medias. But if you want to see it, then you need to head over to his YouTube channel, because actually I was checking out the analytics of his channel the other day, and all the content obviously that we're being watched, which we've surpassed 500 views so far on his channel, which has blown his mind so far, but we're constantly trying to develop and get better with vidIQ help us out a lot. Rob, his team over there, are brilliant. But one of the things that it did highlight the analytics was that out of all our channel content, the viewers that are checking it out, there's roughly 60% that aren't subscribed. The risk of not being subscribed to anybody that's got YouTube or that subscribes to different channels now, if you don't hit the subscribe, don't hit the bell notification, sometimes you might miss out on an episode. And us specifically doing these music vlog episodes on YouTube means unless you're actively participating on social media channels, you may miss a certain episode, and it might be a band that you actually might think that you want to go and see. So as always, or even the band that you haven't, just like Smeg says. So yeah, me personally, I can't say it enough that head over to his YouTube channel, hit the subscribe, hit the bell notification, and it's just gonna pop up. Even if your phone's on silent, it'll just pop up as a notification on your screen, and it just reminds you then. And even if you stick it into your watch later folder in YouTube, it's super easy to do. But yeah, it is going to be exclusively just on YouTube, so it's not going to be available on our Spotify channel or our socials. But we're super excited about it. We've been working tirelessly behind the scenes, but this is probably the right time to obviously say that we need to have follow-up conversations with these two gentlemen below us. But these two guys are avid concert goers, gig goers. So we're actually going to pull these guys in as two of our correspondents, whereas
guinea pigs,
they'll literally, any gigs that they're going to, they're going to capture the footage under the same premise as each one of his episodes. And they'll literally front each one that they do, they'll front the episode themselves. It'll be done under our umbrella. They get to obviously shout out their own social medias and stuff, plug whatever they need. It's just another way of showing that Jukebox Jax, it's a growing community. It's not just about us two that started it. You know, there is no, as much as we're co-founders, there's no one ownership. Like everybody that's within this community is involved in what we're doing and pushing forward with it. And if it means that these guys are getting to go to certain gigs that us two up top aren't able to get to, then it's just going to be more beneficial. You can get a different perspective from our regular two up on top. But yeah, we'll have follow-up conversations with his name's changed now, with Cindy Lauper and Roger. Yeah, we'll have follow-up conversations with them about it and tie it all up. But these two are no doubt going to be two faces that you're going to get to see quite often on the music blog as well. But it's all good, which is yeah.
Oh God.
Christmas, what bands have people got booked to see, or people, or artists?
That's
Between
it.
now and next December, I've got 14 gigs, but
I'm really bad. Like I have to always ask either one of these three who I'm next going to see. Like I always intend to sit down and write down who I'm going to see next, and I'm really rubbish at it. So starting from New Year, I'm going to make sure anytime I actually get a confirmation gig booked, I'm just going to note them all down, because I do my own editing sometimes.
Christmas.
lose track, like, because sometimes nothing will get mentioned and then it'll drop to a couple of weeks before, and Gian might be sort of like, oh, you do realise that we're at thingy, and I'm like, oh, I've not, but damn it, no, I'll be fine, I'll be able to go, but now I need to shuffle stuff about, and yeah, I need to stay more on top of it. But as everybody knows,
November's your next one with me.
it is indeed. We're going to see his good friend Felix and Old Selves.
When's that?
That's the 4th of November at Santiago's bar in Leeds.
You've got Trash Boat before then.
See what I mean? This is what I mean. So
I think my next one's probably in October. I think that's my next one.
Yeah.
First of October for me is my next one, then 9th.
This Sunday for me.
See what I mean? You see what I mean?
No, but I've watched him like for years.
Got
So.
Lib Rock, like an 80s synth rock band.
Not The Rock. You just see him on stage like that.
It's French. It's Lib Rock.
With eyebrow.
Rock.
But yeah, just with these three alone, obviously malboroknightart, Gian Spins 2, thecraftylad, just with these three alone, there's going to be a lot of music blog content coming out, and the more people that we're pulling involved.
Everybody's got a different taste as well.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Covering as much as we can.
In March next year, I might be going to country to country in Dublin.
There you go.
So that's a completely different thing to like, you know, usual stuff we listen to.
Yeah.
I'll have to buy myself a Stetson.
I'm going to see Adam's Family musical.
Poppy when it was, because obviously it's coming up still, but like that's something different because she's completely different to what else I've seen before. So it'll be good.
Yeah, Smeg,
I need to sort that out actually.
Smeg, you've got a musical as well, aren't you?
Yeah, Adam's Family the musical in November. We are last.
Cool, that'll be good.
I'm going to buy some opera glasses.
Yeah, man. I've actually got a musical. I'm going to see Rock of Ages live.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
It's next month. Yeah, I'm going next month to Manchester.
And then in December, I'm going to a Burlesque show.
Oh.
When's that? Spring's that November? That's November, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh. Rock of Ages.
No, Rock of Ages in October. Being mentioned Offspring, it's in November, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or yeah.
Who's coming to that?
I'm coming.
What's
To Offspring, yeah.
Yeah. All of us.
Ah, cool.
I'm seating there, me.
Oh.
What, were you standing?
Not standing this time.
How many tickets did I buy for this? I can't remember.
A lot. You bought a lot.
And then,
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what else you're bound for.
and then a few days later, I'm going to that Q&A session with Dexter and Noodle.
Yeah, no,
I'm off for that. Well, is it like 3rd or 2nd of December?
2nd of December at Wardrobe.
Yeah, I'm off to that, yeah.
I'll see you there.
Bowling for Soup in Huddersfield as well, but it's like 28 quid or something, and I'm like, not that bothered.
I thought it would be.
But yes, just to summarise, obviously the music vlog will be coming out. Keep your eye out on social media for information we've got coming up. Obviously the addition of these two delightful gentlemen at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be brilliant from start to finish. And as always, we're working on other things, which we will announce them as and when they get nearer. It's super exciting. It's very time consuming, but do you know what? If it helps one person go to a gig that's never been to a gig before, or broaden the musical influences that they've got, then it's all been worth it. And as long as it's created them avenues to, you know, have an outlet, have a new friend circle that they might not have had people to talk to about, you know, the mental health, support other people in their mental health battles, then it's all been worth it. All the time that we put into this, it's all been worth it. It's just our way of doing our bit along the way, whilst mixing the things together that we love passionately talking about.
No, definitely.
Sorry to interrupt. I've got 5 tickets for Offspring. I don't know the 5 people are. Obviously, we're 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's not me because I've got my tickets.
I don't know what over to are. Maybe you need to find that out.
Well,
if it's not, you know who.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, let's not. Yeah. I will think that too.
Whoever it is have paid me for them.
Coins in. I'm not too certain how long we've got left. We haven't had a notification come up yet for this part of it.
10 minutes.
So yeah, let's jump in and pick it up from where we got to on the first part. So, who was the first band that you got to see, Smeg?
Oh,
Snuff, and they were on punk.
considerably.
That's
My
the one.
home. My home.
He said
Home
he
turf.
didn't say that he spent rest of his time there.
This is true. This is true. And I believe we did get some video footage of Snuff, if I'm
Yeah, I think we
correct.
did between us.
So obviously, if that's the case, literally now it'll be showing it, and then obviously, you know, we'll pick this conversation up now. But yeah, how many times have you seen them? Were it first time?
Oh, my first time I'd seen them. I've always fancied seeing them, but I've never been able to catch them. And they were just as good as I expected, and they played my favourite song.
Good call.
Are they one of them bands that always like play just Manchester instead of like they never play Leeds and stuff like that?
No, it's just one of those bands. The last time I know they played at Parish.
Oh, nice. And
I got offered a ticket, but unfortunately I was working, so I couldn't make it. But as soon as they got announced, because they replaced someone, didn't they, originally? So the one originally on stage.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I saw it like, I'm not missing them. I'm not bloody missing them.
Well, to be honest, that's the same answer for me, because obviously I joined, because obviously as Smeg said in part one, he jumped to the merchandise store, so it was a little bit of a delay till he got to see his first one. But yeah, I caught Snuff with Jeannie and Smeg. First time got to see him as well.
First time for Jeannie as well.
All three of us, wasn't it? Yeah.
She liked him.
Very, very energetic, which is what we always like to see when it comes to bands and stuff. And yeah, they reminded me of so many other bands that we all know, self-explanatory without even sort of saying them.
And I always love how with Snuff, the lead vocals is the drummer.
Yes,
I always love that.
Yeah, because a lot of that's been lost along years in different bands and such. If you think back to, you know, you go further back like Eagles and people like that, where it was quite common back there, where your lead vocalist were your drummer. But yeah, it's always nice to see you mix it up, and dependent on, you know, what musical skills each one of the band members have got, it's nice to see at times that it could be anybody. You know, I've seen bands before where it's bass players who are lead singers and stuff like that. So
how suave was the keyboardist?
Yes. Super. Well dapper. Gian, even though obviously I caught Snuff with Smeg, that were further on down our list, like I believe I watched Rome with you to start
that's right. Yeah, we just when we got in it, well, like the first band there, like I say, we want a band that we wanted to see, like amazing kind of thing, but they were all right. Don't really know much by them apart from one song, which was the song we finished on, which is, I'm guessing, the main song. I'm not really a big fan of them, but just a nice start to a festival day, wasn't it? You know, when you get there.
Yeah, because it was obviously we just literally walked in, like we'd said in part one. We walked in, so there was still a lot of conversations going on amongst us, like, you know, who did we say we're going to see, and you know, signal, you know, things aren't connecting to Wi-Fi, like they said it were going to do and stuff. So we've got no signal. What's going to be the best place for us to meet? Because I'm going to have to go here at a certain time and stuff. So I didn't personally catch a lot of it of Rome.
No, we're all right. But like the first band that I saw that I wanted to see were Hello Goodbye, which were on the same stage, or pretty much there a lot. And you know, with this, we can say if you enjoyed it or if you didn't, can't you? You know, you don't have to enjoy every band, but
yeah,
they were terrible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. Like they played the song, they played Here in Your Arms, which were good, but I don't know what they did for the rest of the gig. He just started coming out in stuff that I wear. I think he nicked my wardrobe at one point. He had like this gold. He had like this really nice cape and a gold suit. I was like, hey, what's going on here? But it turned into like a catwalk and a fashion show halfway through it.
Oh.
But it was just really bizarre. I mean,
I didn't take any notice. I don't think, me. Like at first, like probably 4 or 5 bands. I think I was just too busy just talking to people, man, just catching up when Rob and Ant and that turned up, and just chatting away, and obviously Turpin and that. Obviously, I've met them all before, but I've never had a proper conversation with any of them. So I think we're just all just chatting rather than me actually listening. So that I paid 70 quid really to stand in the field and talk to some mates. That's all I did for most of the day until later on. But,
no, it is true. Like, but again, obviously, same as what I've said to G, and that's what it was like for me. Obviously, there were conversations that I were having, so it kind of distracted me, and then I kind of took myself off a little bit more, where I kind of like, no, right, get your head in it. We're at SlamDunk now. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see these people again next week or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Jump it into what I'm actually here for. But I made that conscious decision to do that, whereas it's more difficult for people.
I wasn't at that point. So like at first few hours, I didn't take much notice of the band because I was talking to people and catching up with people. And then the last few hours, when I wanted to try and concentrate, and the band I went to see and I actually watched them, I can't really remember them because I was drunk. So watching the entire day, music-wise, really. But,
you were with us then for Rome, weren't you? That was your first one being? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, sorry for Rome. Yeah, I didn't really move until McFly, which were about 2:30 or something, 2:30, something like that.
Yeah, so Eula watched Hello Goodbye with me, then left when As It Is came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, like toilet, beer, listen to music in the background, talk to people, toilet, beer, and then that was my sort of routine for the first like 4 hours, really.
Oh.
So first time.
It's not that routine.
No, I mean, I think the first time I peeled off was after Rome, and well, I think I shut off early to catch the beginning at Dollskin set on Key Club stage.
Yeah.
And then like it flows. Then like what we already discussed. Then straight after that, it was Snuff that I joined Smeg for, and then it was As It Is that I actually came back. But yeah, Dollskin. That would have been the third time. I've since seen them 4 times at Key Club the other night that Gian and Brogan were at. But yeah, it was the first time that I'd got to catch Dollskin since the lineup changes. Obviously, Alex Snowden left the group during the whole lockdowns. The thing is about Sydney, like she's a brilliant vocalist. Like even if people don't necessarily, can't relate to her for whatever reason and things like that, like she's a solid vocalist. And you can tell that they've been doing what they need to behind the scenes to really get the new band members to gel to make it, Dollskin, as in the group Dollskin. But yeah, I've got some brilliant footage of them, which obviously I'll put on here and mix it in between episode and stuff. But
please go buy our merch.
Yeah, Gian's the one originally who put me on to Dalskin. I think first time I ever saw him were in Leeds with Gian.
Yeah, the supported Trash Boat, I believe.
That's the one. And I'd not up until that point heard of him, but it literally from first time I'd obviously went there, I was hooked. Like, they are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I couldn't recommend anybody that's not got the chance to catch Dalskin. Check them out. Like, they are absolutely brilliant. Some amazing songwriting as well. For those, you've got a mixture of, obviously you've got very upbeat songs, but you've got them songs that you like from any band that you support, where sometimes you're just feeling a bit low that day and you just really need a sad song. We're all fans. We're all
praising him on Post Up, weren't you?
Yeah. We're all fans of the sad songs, you know, whether it's Mayday Parade and people like that. Like, we've got ongoing jokes with it and stuff that sometimes, you know, say that again.
A part I made by Neck Deep.
Yeah, exactly. They're all on every one of us playlists for various different reasons. But yeah, the Dalskin for me, they were one of my highlights to catch the new lineup. And as I've since learned, obviously the lead guitarist that's replaced Alex, who was my favourite band member in Dalskin at that point. It turns out a name escapes me, and I knew it would come episode. I should have wrote it down, but she's actually English, as I told Gian other night at Key Club. She did have a little bit of issues while she was on stage during a couple of songs. Different strings broke on a guitar. So she had to get a replacement, and then I believe it happened again. One of the strings snapped, and then she had to get another guitar. So some of the songs will be being played not fully as they would have been done with all instruments as such, but they still rocked it out, which people will be able to see on clips that I've put on here. Yeah, they were absolutely fantastic. I was super happy that I got to catch them. Around time of me going to Dalskin, Jane, so you stayed to see, I think you said it earlier before I spoke about Dalskin.
Excuse me.
No, so as it is, we're on after Dalskin. So
Creeper were on then, I think, wasn't they?
It might have been Creeper. Yeah. It might have been Creeper that you saw then at that point. It was like, I don't know if it helps, but it was like
after as it is, because then I went to Frank Turner, and that's when we went to Frank Turner.
Oh no, yeah, no, Creeper one after. So basically, Dalskin were on at 12:40, well, 13:10. So they would like, for me, straight after Rome, but I don't know who you stayed, because I peeled off because I had to go to a different stage than you guys.
I after Snuff, I actually went to a different stage.
You did. I remember that.
Yeah. I caught A.
I caught A, but I can't believe I didn't see. There were me and Callum who went to see A. But
they were fantastic.
They were absolutely brilliant. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never seen them live. Obviously, everybody knows the collective kind of like discography of tracks and stuff, the same old tracks and stuff. But
that crowd went mental when nothing came on.
Yes, it did. Well, in front of Callum, obviously. Obviously Shire Productions on Instagram, for those people that's not already checked out Callum. Check him out. He's doing some super, and some of his posts over the last few days. He's been on mini adventures and journeys again, getting involved with wildlife and things like that. So yeah, check him out. He's got some brilliant content on his channel.
Sorry, I kind of lost. Yeah, so as it is, Creeper came on after As It Is, I believe.
Yeah.
They were amazing, but after the finish, so the singer ended up walking by my friends like Ellie and Jacob and Connor and Joel and people like that, and it just stood and talked to him for a bit. And this was later on in the day, so they met him later on in the day, and he went, "Oh, do you want to come see Alkaline Trio with us?" So some of my mates went and just saw Trio with Creeper. I was like, "I ain't jealous at all."
But I really am. But I'm not. But I really am.
That face just said it all then.
Yeah, literally, obviously the best way, we're still continuing to learn as we're doing this entire episode. So I'm just looking through listing. It's probably at this rate, because we've already started jumping. So it might just be easier just to reel off who we actually got to see.
All right.
I got, as I've discussed, up to A, like Smeg says. I got A. Then I got to catch Creeper.
B. C.
Then I got to catch Frank Turner. with Bean. It was the first time I got to see Frank. Absolutely brilliant.
Good.
Yeah,
You're my favourite day, Frank.
And I have to say, out of all the times that I saw Bean that day, it was the most animated and giddy, shall I say. It was nice to see for someone that knows Bean personally and knows obviously struggles that he's been going through lockdowns and things like that, and him to be at the first major festival or the big outing that he's been since any of the lockdowns. It was good to see that smile on his face and see him enjoying himself.
That was my highlight of the day, I'd say. Just for the fact that I knew every song and I know I just know it, so it was good.
I've after that I've then got it down because I ended up having to edit a lot of things as I was remembering, as if I knew I were getting to get who I'd originally said in first episode that we did, then I just kept changing it. So I've got here that I then went to see We Are the In Crowd.
Yeah, we did that.
Then I went to see Mayday Parade. Brilliant.
Yeah, same stage.
Caught Out Skindred.
I can't remember.
And then I finished with Alkaline Trio and No Effects. But I believe after Skindred were when I just wanted to go off and explore and stuff at that point. Like, because I don't know them as well as probably say someone like Gian. I know a lot of the tracks, but not. There were like back to back a couple of tracks that were getting played, and I was enjoying it, but I wasn't like invested as much as the beginning at set. So at that point, I thought, do you know what? I know I need to watch Alkaline Trio and No FX next, so I'm just gonna go off and wander, and obviously take in whatever. So I went down the right hand side of the hill towards obviously Punk. I did throughout try messaging people, but as we know, there were no Wi-Fi, or there was Wi-Fi in fairness, but it wouldn't allow you to connect. It wouldn't even give you an option for a password. So my signal was few and far between. So I did try like messaging people and just sort of say I'm down here, but I think I'd already told people up to that point that I was going to see them two last. So if I saw people, it was brilliant. If not, but yeah, I ended up down that way. Met fantastic group of people from Newcastle. That fit in perfectly with our friend circle. Like, they were absolutely brilliant. Like, a lot of them had not seen either one, Alkaline Trio or No FX, live before, so they were freaking out as much as me. But I remember being sat on towards the end of No FX. I remember being sat on a camping chair because they brought camping chairs. I don't even know how they got them in, but they had the like green fold-up camping chairs, and one of the people had also wandered off, I think, to watch Don. So there were like a seat spare. So I was sat there with them, and I remember having a coffee in my hand for some reason. I don't even know why I had a coffee. I must have just decided I had enough alcohol at that point. I wanted some coffee. But yeah, I stayed with them literally until the end. And then I decided, you know what? I've had enough. I'm going to go home. I'm not going to bother, obviously, getting into it. Because at that point, I still thought people were going to go to Key Club. And I'd made it in my head the decision I'm not going to go because now I'm sober again. I'd have to get myself drunk all over again. I'm going to have to pay a ridiculous amount for a taxi to get back home when I could just jump on shuttle bus and pay $4.40 for a train.
That doesn't seem right. Like, you never saw sense.
I know. I couldn't believe it. Like, I was just kind of like, what point when I thought, well, I'm not going to get into a debate with lads and everybody else and ruin night, because sometimes if people are expecting certain people to go and then they say, oh, they're not, it changes other people's plans. So I thought, you know what, if these guys have already decided they're going, I'm not going to change it for them. I'll just do my own thing. I'll just jump on train and go home kind of thing. But then as I learned, obviously you guys had done the same, but he's got an Uber anyway.
We walked through about 19 fields.
I'm ready for sleeping in field, mate. Like,
yeah, it was crazy, man.
I'll wait till next thing for my list, because my list's completely different to your
to the thingy one. Yeah. I'll
skip right to end, to be fair. I mean, none of us had a chance to talk about what else. Like, right, see you, and I'm off. We're like, well, we had a good time too. Finished them off.
Hey, we'll be back in a second.
Excuse me. Oh, fucking hell. Here we go.
Not leave this time.
Right, this is going to be last, and I'll welcome everybody. Part 3, Jukebox Jax podcast, episode 11, SlamDunk review. Just quickly reeled off obviously the bands that I got to see. So Smeg, run us down, the ones you got to see throughout the day?
Well, we got up to A, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes. So after A, I saw that Noah Finis.
Oh yeah.
Well, only got
Finch,
quite
is it?
to be fair, like, but
I thought it were really surprising and really good, actually, to be fair. The crowd were tiny, but we had a bit of time between that and the next band because they were on the same stage as A. So me and Ginny thought, oh, we'll give these a watch. And they're actually really, really good. Really, a lot better than I thought.
What sort of music?
I say pop punk.
yeah, like pop punk. It reminds me a bit of Machine Gun Kelly, how it looks.
Ah.
And then I know the crowd who were watching went wild when they covered Teenagers, My Chemical Romance.
Oh, My Chems. Ah.
Yeah. And then after that was probably the highlight of my day. Pope to Chillitown. They fucking smashed it.
I was so gutted, like, because they were on my list, as I said in other episode, for one to catch, but just due to clashes,
You missed a fantastic show. Banging.
Bastard.
Even Pit were fucking epic for a small stage.
Yeah.
It was literally like being in the Key Club in Pit in Key Club.
Oh, sick.
That gets messy. That does get messy.
And it was just great. The energy on stage with them were just fantastic.
Mm.
And I can't wait to see them again, if I'm honest.
They've definitely been put into a box now for me where it's just one of them, like a ticking time clock, like the first one that comes up where it's announced, where it's local or whatever.
No doubt I'll end up buying your ticket.
Yeah.
Like, just because of name only, if there hadn't been a clash or whatever, I would have gone to see him just because I liked the sound of the name. It sounds cool. I like the name.
It's like that hip hop ska mix.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been listening to them before SlamDunk, and that's why I wanted to see them.
Yeah.
So I meant to see them last year at Fistful of Ska, but due to my brother being a bit of a pisshead, we never got to see him. But then after that, I went back to Pumpkin Drublick. I watched Zebrahead. It's Zebrahead. You can never go wrong with Zebrahead.
Yeah.
And it was good to see how because they've got the new singer, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was quite impressed, to be fair. Probably have to give the studio stuff a bit more of a listen.
Mm.
And then I saw the Skints.
Flutes must flute! I think I've everyone outside right now that plays the flute. For real. SlamDunk, you having a nice time out there? Semi. Because right now you're listening to the sound of the Skints. Anti-Flag is up next. You've heard Stop and Countdown, no effects tonight. It's all crazy. I said that you're having a nice time out there.
And I love the Skints. I mean,
Yes, has done his skint snuffs.
I will admit, it wasn't the best show they've done. I do think they had a lot of technical issues, and you could tell with how they were on stage, but it was still a great gig. It's Skints.
Mm.
But yeah, there were definitely something off with them.
I've read that about Trio. A lot of people saying Trio sound were really bad, but I was drunk, so I can't really remember. But I know a lot of people were saying it was poor what sound.
I'm getting to that bit. And then we went back up and caught last few songs of Skindred. And then after that, it's Skindred. Skindred, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually seeing them again in October, so we weren't overly bothered about seeing them. It was just to kill a bit of time.
Yeah.
And then we went back down to Pumpkin Drublick, I do believe. Yeah.
Not bad to say that we never thought that you'd leave.
Yeah. I didn't have clumps of grass in my hand, don't worry. But no, Alkaline Trio, we set up on hill a bit. So at that point, we'd we'd also sobered up and we're just having the chill time. But yeah, they did sound like the sound was a bit off. My theory is maybe they just didn't, because Alkaline Trio were kind of added late on, weren't they?
Yeah.
They probably didn't have time to.
But they weren't on originally, and then they were on, and then they were off again, and then they were back on again.
So they probably didn't have time to do a proper solid set and a proper solid.
Yeah, I don't think they've performed together for about 2 years, have they?
No, because there's been.
So.
But yeah, but it didn't stop me buying tickets for the Alkaline Trio talk.
Yeah, see you there.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, overall it was fantastic. After that, we didn't catch any headliners because at that point, like Jax, we're like, you know, we're actually done for the day. You know, let's go home and chill, have that crash.
Yeah, because there were that side of things as well for people, obviously, that had not been to festivals that long. It was people don't realize how much it actually takes out of you, and we're not meaning like alcohol consumption, but physically the day you literally you're in middle of mosh pits and things like that. You're having a good time, and to go from nothing since 2019 because of lockdowns to then the physical strain that it puts on your body at being at a music festival like SlamDunk, it hits you all at once. And that's, yeah, I was same as you in that breath where it were kind of like, I know myself, I've had enough, and to do anything more now would just be an extra expense that I really don't need to. I've enjoyed my day from start to finish.
Although randomly, I actually bumped into somebody from the internet at SlamDunk.
Did you?
Yeah, you know I'm in that Lego group.
Yeah.
Build-offs. I was at toilets and I came out and this lass comes up to me. She goes, "Oh, are you in Elbob?" And because of music playing, I didn't quite hear her properly. I went, "Oh no." I don't know what the fuck I thought she said. and then Ginny heard what she said. He goes, "Yeah, you are." She goes, "You're in Elbob, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in Elbob." Because I was completely thrown off by it. I went to a bar and I thought, "Fuck, I put up a selfie and posted it in Elbob just to find out who it was." And we've been talking quite a bit since, and I'm supposedly meeting her for a pint next year.
This is what's awesome in it about festivals, just the like-minded people that you meet that you wouldn't have necessarily met unless you were at that festival.
Exactly.
It was brilliant, man. G, what about you?
Yeah. So, like you said, started off with a local guy who I've seen them before and they were better. As it is, I think they were my favourite band because last time I saw them at SlamDunk, the sound wasn't that great. If you remember when we saw them, we all said that because it was windy as well. Whereas this time, awesome. Well, I was a bit further back, but great, enjoyed them. That's when actually we went in and pitted a little bit. Callum got smacked.
Yeah.
And Crowdsurf lost his art. I found his art. But they were good. Creeper. I watched Creeper after As It Is. Stayed at the same stage most of the day. They were awesome. Then We Are the In Crowd. That were kind of a band that I like, but you couldn't even get a beer. Do you know what I mean? Because you only know so many songs, but they were really good. It's the first time I've seen them because they played at SlamDunk last time and they clashed with someone. So it was like, I get to see them finally. And it's really good, you know, female fronted. It's pop punk kind of As It Is, but enjoyed them. I'm looking at my list. So, and then the Mayday Parade. They were all right. They played a lot of songs that I liked them. But I kind of think, should I have gone to see Funeral? But because I'm seeing Funeral in February, it made sense to see Mayday. And that's when we were stood and we'll call a friend, started giving me some jip for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean, don't I?
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you not recognise me from the back of my head?
Yeah, well, there were a lot of swearing involved, but what you were getting is, are you going to ignore me all day? And I had no idea who she was.
I forgot about that. She put it in group chat, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. She pretty much like, you know, and I'm sorry. And then she said, "Oh, you used to talk to you on Facebook," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do know who you are now." But then I said, "Yeah, but you had a boyfriend," and that kind of it. And she says, "And yeah, but you saw me at that gig and you ignored me because I didn't see her. Is why I ignored her."
Is this
And
your
then-
public apology?
It's not really an apology because I didn't do it wrong.
Won't go that far.
Yeah, and then after she was like, "Can I have a hug?" I suppose. Yeah, cool. And she was sad with me after she texted me and apologised, saying she was drunk. Or like, it's fine, but like, you should have just said, "Hi, can you remember me? I'm whatever her name is." Let's not say it on here. You should have just gone, "Yeah, I'm so and so." I'm like, "Oh, sound. Yeah, how you doing? Nice to see you." Sound instead of that route she went down. But yeah, we'll say route. Yeah, after them, I saw state champs, which were good. I bet Brogan had been gutted at that, but hey ho. And then after them, me and Bean and Jake wandered over to see Alkaline Trio because we met.
Because that helps me with where I went.
we ended up stood with Scott and Laura being.
Yeah. Well, we saw them for Frank Turner.
Oh, right. So,
and then we saw them again afterwards.
Yeah, so Trio again. Sound were a bit iffy, but because you couldn't tell what songs we were singing at the beginning. But obviously, if you're an avid fan, you know what lyrics. You're like, oh yeah, I know what it is now, but it just sounds a bit weird just because of how sound were. And then Bean went to the toilet halfway through Trio, so he pretty much missed it all. And he said he was coming back for no effect. So we said, well, we would be going to see Broco. It's fine, I'll find you. So we went to see Broco. Stood with Jake. Turpin said he'd meet me at this stand, when I knew full well he wouldn't meet me at a stand when he's going to see a band.
Just see it right there.
Yeah, he said just at this sign here, away from crowd. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So I stood around that area. Jake went home, so I stood on my own, and that's when I got to a point where I'm thinking it's getting pretty dark. I don't know where anybody is.
I was doing the same thing, but like further across the field.
Yeah, so basically, I went to the toilet and came back. Thought, right, I've been to the toilet. I've done everything I need to. Like, where is everybody? And then Bean were texting me, and Bean must have just gone all the way around.
I don't know what I did, to be fair.
Slammed up to get to me when it.
I watched it but last like half hour, just like that.
Yeah, then I found Bean, then I found everyone else, so that was a good thing. But yeah, after the gig, we ended up. The shuttle was ridiculous, so we walked across these fields, ended up in Crossgates.
Booked a taxi, didn't we?
Because we were going to go to Key Club, and I just looked at Bean, and I was like, can you be bothered? Shall I just go home? He was like, let's go home. I was like, yes.
Well, quite happy, weren't we? We were both at the same crossroads.
It's a good day. Been drinking since like 9 in the morning.
I think it was probably one of them that if one of us had said, let's go, other one would have gone, yeah, let's go. But I think we're just like, nah, we're done.
We changed now, guys. Change, man.
That's why I said earlier that I didn't risk it in that sense of like bothering to have the conversation with you, because I knew it had only take one of the three of us to say, I could still duck it, and then I'd be sold, and then it'd be spending more money to get drunk again that I didn't need to.
Well, Callum, we're calling Cowboy Callum at Cowboy Hat on. Yeah. He would go into Key Club with his friend, and us two were gonna go with them two, and then meet Turpin, Caitlin, and Callum there. Because we came home, he went to Key Club still. Callum, Caitlin, and Turpin went to Leeds. They didn't go to Key Club because queue were ridiculous. They went to Taco Bell, and Callum ventured off into the night, we'll say. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to him.
I guess something's happened. Work.
Yeah. realise.
That's how about your son then? Dom.
Me? Well, I sort of were with Jane until about what, 1:30ish, something like that. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
for a few months, I just didn't really take in. I was just more sort of seeing people and just catching up with folk. And a few friends I went sim for quite a few years arrived around that time, so I called them, said it up to them and what have you, and had a good chat. And then we saw Kim and stuff. I had a chat with her and stuff, and then I went over to McFly. Went to McFly.
Give us a smile, SlamDunk. Give us a smile. You ready to sing? You said you ready to sing? It's all about. It's all about you. It's all about you, baby. It's all about you. It's all about you, baby. It's all about you.
Aye. I guess you did mention it first one, didn't you? You were gonna, you weren't bothered if you didn't see many bands because you were looking forward to seeing people again, weren't you?
For me, like, because I just wanted to be sort of as careful as I could be. I was more just happy to watch from afar and then just catch up with people and have a good chat with people. And a few folk like Turpin and stuff I've met before, but I've never really met through the day. It's more been on a night out at about 11 o'clock, and it's like, oh, all right, drunken conversation, whatever you don't. So it was good to just have a catch up with folk. And then, like I say, I went to McFly. Well, on my own, it was absolutely packed. Everyone loved it. I had a good sing along, as you do.
You see the couple that got engaged?
What did I come back for?
No, wait, I didn't see
Got a
that.
bit of creeper before Frank Turner, I think, something like that.
Ah, sweet.
Most of it away from, I went to Frank and then Alkaline Trio. And then I think I saw No Effects, but I must have done.
You did, yeah.
But I can't remember. I can't remember much of it, to be fair. But I was quite far back. I think I was just sort of chilling by that point, and just sort of. I think I was just sort of wondering by that point, and then obviously I started bringing Jane and just looking for a bright jacket, and I was just like, "Where are you?" I'm an entrance. I'm like, I don't know, for some reason I'm like an elastic band, and I'm going like the widest sound you could possibly do. And I don't know why. I think, like I said, I think in my head I was just sort of taking in the surroundings because it was emptying out by that point. I thought like lights were still on, and I think I was just quite fascinated by just having a bit of a last minute wonder sort of thing. But and as soon as I saw Jane, and they're like, I can't really bother with Keekle, can you? And I'm like, no, I'm happy to go. And I was like music to each of his ears, I think. We both would have gone well if one of us had gone, oh, come on, we might as well. We're here, aren't we? But I think we were just knackered by that point. We just, feet were aching. We just had enough. We'd spent what we'd spent, and we're just like, let's just get gone.
Yeah.
So
there were no horror stories on the group message next day. Everybody survived.
That's it.
You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You alive? I'm all right. Yep, yeah, perfect.
The obligatory checking in, I'm safe thing.
Yeah.
So what did you say your highlight was that day then?
Probably Frank Turner for me. All like I said, McFly were cool just because I've seen them a few times before. I love a bit of pop, you can't beat it. But for me, it was Frank Turner. But like I said, probably my highlight was seeing people. That was probably my main highlight, which sounds daft at a music festival, but it was just seeing people I'd not seen for 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, or whatever. There were a few people that I missed because of no signal and I just couldn't get in touch with people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
for
there's
me,
no
that
wrong with that.
was my main thing. I wish I'd have sort of took a bit more notice of the music, but for me, it was just that was the main thing, just seeing faces and catching up.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
It were I were gutted that I didn't obviously catch McFly. But again, the clashes, like we said in last episode, it got it way of it. But the footage that I have seen since on the Facebook groups and stuff like that, I got a couple of videos which obviously I'll pop up through episode and stuff. But the special, the one from South, which
King of drug cigarette. You naughty little bastards! Put that drug cigarette out.
were quite comical, where Dougie is again, I'll put it up now. Dougie telling off the crowd because he could smell a drug cigarette, and they were telling him to put it out now.
Yeah. Smell some funky stuff or something, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, with that picture of that couple that got engaged, weren't there?
Oh yeah, there's a video as well.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this.
It's on that SlamDunk page on Facebook.
Yeah, the couple
I saw it.
that file playing. It's pretty cool. Is that what it laid? That were it? North, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So obviously we've run through as bands that we saw and things like that, which I think overall we're all quite happy with. Yeah, there's always ones that we'd like to have catch, but there's every chance to catch them again in future. Coming out of 2019 SlamDunk and the things that were kind of wrong and things like that that they could have improved on, what do we feel works well this year round compared to the 2019 one?
Well, everyone still complained at Signal as such, but for me, it worked. So you could actually get in touch with people, even if it were a text message. But again, if
it did occasionally work, especially
Yeah,
even
that's
that fucking public.
Yeah, so as long as you could at least get in touch with someone somehow, it didn't matter. Just to let them know where you were or something like that. You didn't have to be texting all your mates saying, "Oh, this is cool." And I mean, it wasn't like that kind of social thing because you were watching the festival. But you had it for what you needed. Like when Beam were looking for me, we could contact each other, but it was just hit and miss. But it was there. Again, it could be better, but that's could be said for everything. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But
It worked better than text, didn't it?
yes, that's right. Yeah,
It was pretty constant phone, wasn't it? It was just texting that were a bit more sort of dodgy, really.
that's it. So that was. I mean, again, they're obviously going to work on it all the time. Like they had Wi-Fi spots, but with all people that were there, was it going to work?
In an empty, big, massive, wide open field, there's only so much signal they can create, isn't there, really?
Oh yeah, totally. I'd say for me, the selection of food this time was a lot better than the first one.
Yeah,
There was
I'd probably go with
a lot more variety.
Yeah, there were a lot more stands, weren't there? Like last time, I
Yeah.
remember where the hill goes up, where those stands were. That's all there was last time. I think I could be wrong, but
No, you're right.
that's all I remember. Being.
One burger van down here at Pumpkin Dublick in 2019.
Yeah.
Because I had one of those shitty liquid cheeseburgers in 2019.
Oh, is this sauce?
There were more choices just looking around and what have you.
Yeah,
There were a lot of variety, which and I'd say the busiest stall I saw throughout the day was the vegan stall.
Well,
Vegans, I'll say it.
But no, that was the busiest. So I reckon they'll probably put a few more next year because I always had the biggest queue of the day.
Yeah, it is right what you're saying that there were more food outlet stalls than there were compared to 2019, because it kind of stretched in it. It were right up at top of hill, in the should we say centre hill, like the main part of the actual grounds. But it stretched all the way down to Punk. There were so many, and then there were a few bars on end, and then you had your bars on left hand side anyway, near toilets, and then obviously your bar top ends as you've come in. So yeah, the food. Literally, I know we only went once for food, but there weren't any massive queues that I saw. There weren't even massive queues with drink that I saw.
The Pumpkin Dublick bar was the quietest. you know, the bar near Punky Drubley.
On left,
That one.
yeah.
I was always in, served, out.
Yeah, you found it were walking through the pre-made queuing system that the longest part of it, because there were nobody queuing, but you still had to walk through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that, definitely. Let's touch on the subject of, funnily enough, the bottom two are just filling up, and it kind of ties in well with it.
It was in sync as well.
It was, wasn't it? It was scary. We've had a few conversations about it before we came on air. There were a lot of complaints on the Facebook group from people, obviously saying about the food prices and obviously the beer prices. Now, I personally felt that the food and the drink weren't really expensive for someone who was to gigs, arena gigs as well, where sometimes you're paying like £8+ for a pint and stuff. So I knew what I was expecting, and as we found out coming into this year's Slam Dunk, we all remembered how much as beers cost last time that we were getting, and it had only gone up 50p. Now, over the space of, I thought personally that were good, but it could have gone up a lot more, but it only gone up that. But yeah, for some of that, I'm still in that thought process that I don't feel it is dear. But
I thought it were about right. I want to pay anymore. I think because I think if you go anymore, I think they're taking the piss. But any less, it's a bargain, isn't it? Whereas around that, I think you can't complain at that. Even though it's obviously, if you went to Spoons or whatever, it's a hell of a lot more expensive than that. But it's you can expect that. Whereas anything else, I think they're starting to set the piss, because it's end of day, it's beer, and it's not like special.
Yeah.
For me, I was just shocked at how much that double gin were costing.
Yeah, like Smeg says, food is same at any gig or festival. It's always around 10 to 12 quid for everything.
Yeah.
The more exotic things, the 12 quid, we'll say. But you eat drinks, £6.50 or whatever it was for a beer. You pay that everywhere. You know what I mean, you can pay that in some pubs. Like not in
London or something, you'd pay that anyway, won't you? So
yeah, like, if you went to somewhere further afield where it's, you know, even as a London, I don't know, but you'd be expected to pay that. But the gin thing, I thought that was crazy. I won't lie.
It's a lot in it, that, like
a tenner for a double gin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you give that summary of, in comparison to like obviously getting the same drink at like Key Club, what obviously you said earlier, Jane. Yeah, then that makes sense with what you were saying. It would just, I suppose, because I don't buy doubles when I'm at a festival. It would just, when someone said to me, obviously when Smeg said, oh, it were a tenner, and then I based it, well, my ciders that I was drinking had only gone up 50p, so it must be an all right figure. But then to find out from you guys, it's not.
Quite a small glass as well, wasn't it?
That price though, because it's not at that price anywhere else. So why is, because you can get a pint cheaper than that in middle of Leeds. So why is a festival? Why is it that expensive? Why is it that expensive at a arena gig? It shouldn't be that expensive. There's no reason for it to be that expensive, especially at like Leeds Arena where it's like Foster's or some shite that you're drinking. You know what I mean?
There's no reason for it.
But at least at festival it was good beer, wasn't it? We're drinking.
I mean, I missed out going to that craft beer one. I ended up.
I was going to mention that. Like, I completely forgot about it and never went to it.
Supposedly they sold neck oil at £6.50 a pint, which
that's actually quite good. That's decent. That.
I think up town as well, weren't they? They were selling and a few other stuff like, but
they were only kind of like a summary of some of the complaints that I'd seen, apart from the ones that we've touched on, like Wi-Fi signal and stuff. But obviously,
I think the other big one with the bins, wasn't it?
Yeah,
a lot of people complaining about bins, but I did notice, especially towards the back end, a lot of rubbish was everywhere.
But I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it as well, but
you chuck it on floor, don't you? That's what people do. Like it's.
Well, somebody had sort of said that they talked about specifically, you know, like Download, where Download sells the, like, as you get your drink at the bar, they sell the plastic cup that it comes in, and you carry it with you and you keep it. And a lot of people saying Slam Dunk should do that, because then there wouldn't be half as many plastic cups chucked all over the floor, because if you've got your cup, if you haven't got your cup, you rock up again, you've got to pay extra for your cup.
Exactly. And when we that bit after the day, what even full? We took it. I'm like, right, what we're doing now?
Climbing in it. Let's climb in it.
It should be a complaint of the
like
like
that one?
festival goers.
Yeah.
It should be the complaint of the staff that's there that's having to clean up it afterwards. You know what I mean?
That's
I got
it.
that one from download.
Yeah, so sort of people are mentioning in Facebook group that maybe that's something SlamDunk could look at. And then I do believe somebody else put into it that SlamDunk did do it at one point, but I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
It's not really funny. Like if you're at a festival and you early doors, you've had your first pint, you're gonna look for a bin, aren't you? And you're gonna, oh, there's a bin there, put it in or whatever. But 4, 5, 6, 7 pints down the line, you're just gonna be like, well, there's another 250 pots on floor. You're just gonna chuck it at you, like that's just what people do. You don't think, oh, in my drunken state, I'm gonna think, oh, I'm gonna look round for 20 minutes for the bin. You're just gonna lob it at you, like that's just life, it really.
But overall, as we've all said, the whole day, start to finish, I personally loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I loved it too. It was great. Great to be back.
Yeah.
I can't wait for next year. Like I'm more looking forward to next year. Like I enjoyed it. It was a good day, but I feel like it was missing something. Whereas I think next year is going to be like good.
I think next year will be a lot more organised.
Yeah.
Because it's not their fault, obviously, because of all the shit that's been happening.
Yeah, hopefully less COVID next year.
But they'll have more chance to get like things down.
Yeah, because things have kind of eased off a lot since.
Yeah.
They've jumped with this one thinking we need to do it, which they have. And they've pulled it off well, like with the bands they had.
That's the thing, like, they did a good job, didn't they? Basically.
Give it a year's time when things are getting back to normal more. The American bands will be coming over. That's where it's going to be, you know, what originally billed.
Next year, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm hoping Acrobats.
Well, the thing about it, for obviously next year, as those people that are tuning in don't already know, it's in June and it's going to be a Friday, which we were all kind of like, wait, what? But it is the bank holiday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
I put the week off just to make sure.
Yeah, I'll have to actually check that. Is it the first week in June?
Yeah. I think
it's like, it's a bank holiday.
Is it something like 4th of June or something like that?
Oh no, I won't be working, but I don't know what I'll be doing because with birthdays and that. Not mine.
It's 3rd of June.
It's what?
3rd
of June.
Yeah.
Should be okay, I think.
I'll be there either way. It don't matter if it's the Friday or the Saturday. I'd be there anyway.
Yeah.
But I have made the decision already that I'm going to go VIP just because I want to experience it more than anything. I have VIP ticket for it, and then I can make my own mind up when I'm there if it's worth moving forward the next year. Just sticking to regular or getting VIP in future. I think it'd be good to see.
Me and Ginny are thinking of doing VIP.
Yeah.
Who do you think lineup? Headliner, should I say?
I reckon it'll be some.
Probably.
A day to remember will be up there.
NoFX will be there, you know. I don't think Pumpkin Drublet's going to be the next one.
No, it's not. It's in Belgium, isn't it, next year?
Yeah.
But they're on about Fireball, that they're coming back.
Yeah.
I love Fireball.
So less than Jake, Real Big Fish, Deborah Head.
Holy fuck. It's just a hangover waiting to happen.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, well, guys, as it's starting to, obviously you guys don't get to see the audience, but us participants get to see the countdown is on. So we'll bring this SlamDunk review to a close.
Yeah.
I can honestly say it was amazing to share that day with 3 of my closest friends and the additional friend circle that we were in as well. It was just like we thought it'd be.
Like an extended.
We all literally had that moment when we walked in and we all took a breath while looking round. Like it did affect
it. Every time it's obviously when you first get in and you just go like my day, like, and you just think, oh, how's it gonna go? And you just don't have a clue here. Which who's gonna get drunk first, who's gonna fall over, who's gonna fall out with who, and
that's it.
Falling out, that's the best.
Pleasure, isn't it? No one fell out with each other this time, so it's good.
No,
I don't think.
no one did.
The fact that you can remember, I could tell you. Oh,
No one finger eights this time, or what have you?
No,
Yeah.
it was brilliant.
Out for next year.
That's it. But yeah, audience, as always, thank you for checking us out. Feel free to share with your friends. Hit that subscribe button, the bell notification on YouTube. We're on the podcast, obviously on Spotify. All the social medias, again, same thing. Get us posts shared. We're all collectively doing what we're doing with this channel to help other people, and that's the whole premise behind it. As always, thank you, Smeg, for all the amazing work you do behind the scenes. I could honestly not say enough words about the hours that you spend doing stuff. Check him out, malboroknightart on Instagram. Super talented guy, super friendly, and he'll help you out with everything.
Thank you.
Smeg, or Jared Leto, as it's now saying.
I'm
Smeg.
not Smeg.
Yeah, that'd be Gian. Yes, Gian.
I mean, we do look quite handsome, both of us. I agree. Just stop with it. Stop.
It's done. Yeah, check out Gian Spins 2 on Instagram. Super friendly as well. You might catch him at a gig. And lastly, but by no means least, Crafty Lad, doing some amazing work. And as always, Crafty Lad, thank you. We've had to record a separate ending just for you because as time ran out, it wasn't done personally. Smeg's had to disappear, unfortunately, but Gian's just moved along and made some room for him at side of him. So
like, share, and subscribe. That's what I'm supposed to say, isn't it?
That's exactly what you're supposed to say, mate.
Press the bell and all that. Oh, that's YouTube. I ain't got a YouTube channel yet.
Yet, watch this space. That's the highlight of this conversation. Watch this space. Crafty Lad coming to a YouTube screen near you.
You never know. You never know.
Hey, world your oyster, mate. World your oyster. But yeah, I know I said it in the other part, but yeah, we couldn't have done these episodes without you. Your feedback has been more than beneficial. There'll be plenty of people that can take a lot of things from us review that we've done. And as audience are going to get very familiar with you very shortly with the music blog launching. We're two, well, I was going to say two correspondents, but I don't know why. I just keep wanting to say roving Roden, I want to say for you.
I might change I might take a wrestling point of view. To the Bullet Club, they're called Mullet Club.
Oh, I like it. The Bullet Club, and yeah, as formerly now known as the Mullet Club, and then obviously Roden's can't use ramblings because you've already got your own one, so yeah, roving Roden.
Roden's ramblings. I'll just ramble on about my news report.
We should take an hour over there.
With a breaking news coming at bottom of the screen.
You do realise that what's going to happen is when we go to these, we do these like music kind of things on about like blogs and things. We're just going to stand there like
music blog.
I don't know what it was called.
Vlog. It's a blog. It's a blog, but it's a video, isn't it? It's blog.
It's a review. I was trying to say review. I don't know why I can't get the words out. I'm just going to be stood with a microphone.
I am Weatherstorm.
Yes,
it's raining sideways.
But you're gonna have to have one of them square blocks on it with like an luminous mustache on it or something.
No, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a microphone, and on that box, I'm gonna put this.
Oh, look at him! Always thinking at brands. Yes. And then on the other side, you need yours for your spins too. Like you just keep spinning it as you're talking. Keep spinning it.
Yeah.
Keep spinning it.
Hi, how are you all doing?
How are you all doing, guys?
Becomes a Beyblade at end.
But yeah, thank you again to everybody who's listened in on Spotify. Those that's those that's watching on YouTube. Thank you as always. Hit the like, subscribe, bell notification icon, anything and everything on any one of the channels that we've got. We can't do any of this without the audience that we've got. We super appreciate you. keep an eye out for all future content coming, and get used to seeing these two guys, because a welcome addition to the team, and we can't do any of it without as a lovely friend circle and community we've got around us. But yes, couple of weeks time, got a very exciting episode coming up. Stay tuned on social stay tuned on social media to see announcements. We're keeping tight-lipped. The inner circle knows who it is. So yeah, I'm hoping that they don't drop anything right now. Want to keep it hush hush, because it's killing Bean. It's killing Bean.
Next gig, guys, is LeBrock on Sunday at Key Club. Check them out. Amazing.
I like it. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Gian grabs some footage. That'll be one of the music blog episodes that we'll have rocking. But as always, love you too. We love Smeg as well. He's not here.
Yeah, thanks for having it again.
Anytime, and we'll touch base with you again shortly. And that's it, guys. As always, live life, be kind, and give back.